milonga criolla, la reina de las canciones que alivian de amor las penas y alegran los corazones. El encanto de mi ritmo juguetón fascina y en él se encierra toda el alma de mi tierra, de mi Argentina, tierra de amor. Al rezongar el bandoneón, un milongón criollo, las pretensiones porteñas de otra canción con mi compás arroyo. Y no hay mujer que de un varión resista el embrollo cuando se baila corazón a corazón y una milonga soy.
Hi everyone, welcome to this Milonga class. Thank you for joining us. So we decided to do this class tonight because we have been now teaching online for about a year, and we are using a platform called Patreon, where we give different kinds of classes every week for both leaders and followers. So we wanted to celebrate this year anniversary with you by giving you a free Milonga class. So Steiner is going to tell you a little bit about what's going to be.
Our patrons out there that have followed the class, you know what this is about, but for the rest of you, this class, we try to dance as much as possible. So instead of talking too much about the technique, we try to give you exercises that you can do on your own and also some steps that you can practice with a partner, if you have one. And try to put on some music, dance, and then we'll learn by doing.
Yes.
So I guess we better get started.
Yes.
So we will start with a warm-up exercise that we it's called the reloj, the clock. So we imagine that we have direction forward, 12 o'clock. We can go forward with either leg. And we can go to the side to 3 o'clock or to 9. We can go back to 6 o'clock with either leg. And then we also have some diagonals. So maybe we have 10:30, we can go crossing over with the right, or 1:30. Now it gets complicated, I have to think. We have 7:30, and we have 4:30. Yes.
Just one more thing before we go on that we forgot to say. So during this class, you are free to leave a comment or a question in the comment area, right?
Yeah, so if you're watching it on Patreon or on YouTube, you can leave a comment there, and
Yes.
we'll see if we can stop the class a couple of times to see if we have any questions to answer.
Yes, and if not, we'll get back to you later, just so you know that. Okay, so back to the rouleau.
Yes, so we have forward, side, and back, and diagonal forward and diagonal back. So we are going to start by doing this with rebounds that are both this, which are used a lot in Milonga. So we just take small step, pushing with our toes to the front. You can try the step if you want. And then we also do the side step, side to side. Also rebound. Rebound to the back. Diagonal front. Here we have a small pivot. We go to the other diagonal. And to the back diagonal. We don't have to pivot so much, but we have to open the hip to go to one diagonal or the other. Okay, so we'll start doing all of these steps to music.
Yeah, so we'll turn around so you can follow us, and yeah, we'll just change throughout these different directions.
Yeah, and since we'll be sending you music, you won't hear us, so we'll just repeat one direction for a while until we change, and then just try to follow as best as you can.
Milonga para recordarte, milonga sentimental. Otros se quejan llorando, yo canto para no llorar. Tu amor se secó de golpe, nunca dijiste por qué. Yo me consuelo pensando que fue traición de mujer. Varón, va a quererte mucho, varón, va a desearte el bien, varón, va a olvidar agravios porque ya te perdoné. Tal vez no lo sepas nunca, tal vez no lo puedas creer, tal vez te provoque risa verme tirado a tus pies.
Okay, very good. I hope that was a good warm-up for you and you were able to follow us.
So one thing to keep in mind is when we do all these milonga steps, we want to be compact. So we don't want to be too much up into the air and take big steps. We want to try to collect our feet a little bit more, squeeze our inner thighs together, bend our knees slightly, and try to have weight into the floor. So we take small steps, knees close together, and squeezing those inside thighs together for almost all of the steps.
Yeah, and we really want to stay very much on our toes when we also dance Milonga, so we can be quicker on our feet.
Yes. So we worked a little bit with some different ways of using these positions, some different elements in the previous classes. And this time we are going to work on repeated rebounds. So sometimes when we dance, we can use repeated steps. In different forms, different shapes. So we're going to use the reloj now to practice these repeated, where we repeat the rebound on the same leg. So what we're going to do is for the diagonal front and back, we're going to use one leg, go diagonal, and then go to the other diagonal. And go back and forth between the two diagonals. Then we can switch, go to the other leg, and we have the same two diagonals. We can also do this to the back diagonal. And switch, other leg, same thing. Yes. Good. So let's try that for one Milonga. We're going to use the same steps, and then once we get to the diagonal, we're going to try some of these repeated steps both forward and back on both legs.
And just remember to keep pushing from those toes, especially when we go out to the diagonals, right? You really want to push on the toes. Try not to put the heels down. Okay. Okay, good. So that milonga was a little bit faster, and it can get a little tiring going back and forth, but that's good. One thing I wanted to say about the back and forth is that when we go forward, we're also using the rotation of our upper body a little bit. So the leg that goes forward, the same leg, or the same, no, not the same leg, the shoulder goes back. So, yeah?
So we use a little bit of opposition there in the upper body and lower body for two reasons. Well, one, it's stylistic. It looks a little bit nicer, maybe, has more cadencia than if you are straight. To do a little bit of movement in the upper body. And also it helps you. It helps you gain speed because you're using your abdominals to help move your leg instead of just moving it from the hips.
Yeah. So, good.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
let's move on to our baldosa. So we've been practicing different variations on the baldosa, a very nice step, a pattern that we can use for milonga that has a back step, side step, front step, collect, change weight, you name it, it has it, all of it. And it's nice to be able to, it's sort of a base that you can use to improvise on when you're doing milonga. So this baldosa that we're using, we have, let's start with the leader steps. Yeah. So we have a back step, small back step, very small, side, front, front, side, and collect and change weight, and then we start again with the back step. Side, front, front, side, and change. And as you can see, we're using the same rotation in our upper body for these steps. So even in the first step, you can twist a little bit, put one knee behind the other, and then for the front step, again, twist to the other side to go on the outside of your partner. And then for this front step, if we don't have a lot of space, let's say we're in a packed milonga, that's wishful thinking right now maybe, but imagine that you're in a packed milonga, or maybe you don't have so much space at home. It's good that you can take these two front steps almost in the same spot. You can cross one over the other, and then do a small side step, change, and you can repeat this, and you can just adjust the length of each step to fit your space. If you're coming a little bit too far forward, take a slightly bigger back step and shorter front steps. You can adjust the spacing you're in.
yes. So we'll do some of the leader steps, and then we'll do the follower steps as well.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Let's just talk through them. Just in case you're not familiar with baldosa, we'll walk through them for the leaders, and you can copy us. Starting back on the right leg, we go back, side, front, front, side, collect and change. And again, back, side, front, front, side, change. Back, side, front, front, back. Last time, back, side, front, front, side, and change.
Good. And now we are going to do follower steps?
Yes.
Yes?
You can show them. Show the steps first.
Okay, so we are going to start with the left foot going forward. So we go forward, side, back, back, side, collect and change weight. And then again, we go forward, side, back, back, side, collect and change weight. All right, let's do it a couple times facing this way, so we can do it together. Starting with your left foot, we go forward. And forward, side, back, back, side, collect and change weight. Forward, side, back, back, side, and change. One more time. Side, back, back,
Yes. So we will put on a tango just to practice this baldosa. Milonga, not a tango. You can use the sequence of steps also for tango,
Yes.
but maybe not with so much repetition.
Yeah.
Whereas in a milonga, maybe you can repeat a structure with small variations and play with the rhythms.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put on milonga, one milonga where we dance this. We are going to show it partly as leaders, partly as followers. You can do one role if you want, the whole song through, or the other, or both. Or if you have a partner, you can try it with your partner. I guess we can show that also.
Yeah.
So putting it together, we have the same steps. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go in line, and on the 4th step, I go outside, and then I go back in line next to her foot, and then we collect and change.
Okay.
So
we'll put on a tango. Now I'm singing. We'll put on a milonga, and we're going to start with the leader steps, and then we'll go into the follower steps.
Me gustan los desparejos y no voy por la vedera. Uso fungi a lo macera, calzo bota militar. La quise porque la quise y por eso ando penando. Se me fue ya ni sé cuándo volverá. Me la nombran la guitarra cuando dicen su canción, las callecitas del barrio y el filo de mi facón. Me la nombran las estrellas y el viento del arrabal. No sé pa' qué me la nombran si no la puedo olvidar.
Okay, good. We hope you had a chance to practice that. And now we are going to add on to the baldosa. Yes?
we are going to, before we go into the repeated rebounds, first we have to add the rebounds.
Mhm.
So if you've taken this class before, you know them already, but you'll get a chance to practice. So we are going to add a rebound on the first 3 steps, and then on the last step we are going to do a quick, slow step, collect.
Yes.
So it looks like this for the leaders. We'll do rebound back, bum, 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 rebound and collect to the side, bum, 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 rebound to the front, front and front, and then we're going to do the quick to the collect. So we go step, step, collect. Then we start again, rebound, bum, 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 side, bum, bum, and back, front, and now front, side, collect.
And then for the followers?
Let's do it together,
Yes,
and then we'll
okay.
show the followers.
Yes.
So we start also, there's something about the music here, for those interested. There's the Milonga rhythm, bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum, bum, bum. So already in this rhythm, you have, on one of the beats, you have this syncopation already. So while you can do it wherever you want, it fits the music extra well if you do it in those periods on the second beat. So instead of doing bum, ba, bum, bum, then you're standing still when the music has 2 beats, and when the music has 1, you're moving 2. So instead, if you wait for the first one, bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum, 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 ba, bum, bum, bum. The movements fit, this traspié fits the music even better.
Yes.
So we're going to try that.
Leaders, right?
Yeah. So starting with the right wing back. So I say 1 and back and side, collect, front and front, front, side, change, back and back, side, collect, front and front, front, side, change, back and side and change, and front, side, change, ba bum bum bum, ba bum bum bum, ba bum bum bum, ba bum boom, boom boom boom, ba bum boom, ba bum boom, ba bum boom. Yes.
Okay, so and then we start with the follower steps. So the follower steps is starting with the left. We do a rebound. We go rebound now, side and collect, change weight, back, and then back, side together. Again, left and side, change weights, back and back, side together. One more time. Front and side, change, back and back, side together. Okay.
Let's do it together. So again, we start after the 1. So if we say 7, 8, 1, and pump and front and side and collect, back and back, side, change, front and front, side and change, back and back, side, change, ba bum bum boom, ba bum bum boom, ba bum bum boom, ba bum bum boom, ba bum boom 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 boom.
Yep.
Yes. So let's try that for a milonga.
Yes. So again, same idea. We're gonna start with the leader steps, and then we'll switch to the follower steps. You can choose to do whatever you like if that confuses you, or you can do it with us.
Yeah.
It's good to practice anyway because they're really the same steps, just starting with.
Forward step instead of a
Yeah.
backward step, but it's more or less the same.
Yeah.
And I think I'll go back to the first milonga we played, just a little bit slower, just so we can get these rebounds in before we go crazy.
Yes. Get ready.
recordarte milonga sentimental. Otros se quejan llorando, yo canto para no llorar. Tu amor se secó de golpe, nunca dijiste por qué. Yo me consuelo pensando que fue traición de mujer. Varón, va a quererte mucho, varón, va a desearte el bien, varón, va a olvidar agravios porque ya te perdoné. Tal vez no lo sepas nunca, tal vez no lo puedas creer, tal vez te provoque risa verme tirado a tus pies.
Okay, very good. So now that we've seen the rebotes in the baldosa, we are going to add on to the repeated steps.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's see where we can use these repeated steps. We can really use them anywhere, but we are going to, let's first go to the one that we practiced in the reloj. So for leaders, that would be the front diagonal to diagonal, and for followers, they're using on the other leg, the back diagonal. So we use this in step 1, 2, 3, number 3. So if we go to the 1 and 1, now we go to the 2, and in this third step, and then we can go back, ba bum bum bum, ba bum bum bum, ba bum bum bum. So we'll do 1, 2, 2 to each diagonal, just so we don't stay too long on one leg. Of course, you can repeat it if you want to, if it's the music.
Yes.
So we are doing bum 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 on this outside step. Back and front here. So if we want to stick to the same sequence, we're going to do it twice, and then we exit in the cross position. And 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay. Let's try that. Let's just talk through it a couple of times before we put on the music. Yes, we'll start with the leaders.
Yeah, first the leader.
So we'll do 2 repetitions of these repeated rebounds. So 7, 8, 1, and back and side and collect. Now repeat, and once more, bump, and now we land, and we go front, side, change, back, side and change, dribble the rebound, and we land now, and front, side, change, back, side and change, front and front and front and front, and now, front, side, change, back and
And we'll do it for the followers?
Yes.
So, just gonna think for a second. So, what we do for the followers, again, we're starting forward, right? So we're doing forward, side, and collect. And this is where the repeated one comes in. So we start crossed over. So we go cross and open and cross and open and land. And then we go back, side, together. Yeah? Same thing. So we go forward, revolte, side and change. We go back and open and back and open and land, back, side, together.
Yes. That's
So
it.
we'll do it this way, starting again with the left.
7, 8, 1. And bum, bum, bum. Side. Repeat.
And now repeat. Out, back, out, and land, back, side, again.
And tiki, 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 boom. Side, repeat, and left.
Yes. Good. So, should we give this a try with the music?
Yes. Now, of course, again, with the music, there are certain repeated phrases. I'm trying to sing them now, where you have these tiki 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 ting. That's where they fit best. But if we try and fit that all together now and coordinate with you, it will be a mess. So I will disregard the music a little bit now. When you practice it on your own, or if you practice it with your partner, feel free to just do it when you hear it. But for now, we're just going to practice the movement and not worry so much about the music.
Yeah, and in a little bit we'll show you what that looks like dancing together with the music.
Milonga criolla, la reina de las canciones que alivian de amor las penas y alegran los corazones. El encanto de mi ritmo juguetón fascina y en él se encierra toda el alma de mi tierra, de mi Argentina, tierra de amor. Al rezongar el bandoneón, un milongón criollo, las pretensiones porteñas de otra canción con mi compás arroyo. Y no hay mujer que de un varión resista el embrollo cuando se baila corazón a corazón y una milonga
Okay, very good. Sorry about that. We had a few mess ups ourselves, but we hope you were able to follow us.
So if for those of you listening to the music, I thought I managed to make it work, but every other time we did it, it fit the music better. Than it was alternating between good and bad. So some of the times it just felt a little wrong in my musical heart, but hopefully you were able to do it with us. It's more of an exercise for now.
Good.
And of course, if you are with your partner, it's the same idea, the same steps. So we go to the outside. Remember here, we want to be not side by side. We want to twist a little bit in our upper body so we can stay together. And then we move side to side. And as I move to one diagonal, I'm going to be very close to her thigh, hopefully. So when I go on the outside, I don't want to go too far away. So I go right on the outside, so I'm actually pushing her hips with my leg.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I feel the lead partly from his leg and partly from his upper body.
Yes.
But he's really sending my leg to go out.
Mm-hmm. Any other technical pointers?
Yeah, well, we're just going to show it again, what we just did. So. Now, what's important is that, and we've said this before in some previous classes, especially in Milonga, but also in Tango, we want to be with our legs rotated. So when we are crossed over, we have to rotate from the hips so that we don't end up turned in. And this becomes a little bit complicated when you are doing these repeated steps, because it is easy to sort of cross over and turn the leg in. So you just want to make sure that both legs are rotated out. Both legs are rotated out, whether I'm going forward or back. Yeah? And I really feel that my inner thighs are very close together here, also when I go forward and back. Let's see what else.
I'm just making sure that we are seeing you if you have any questions.
Yeah.
So just keep talking and I'll be with you in a second.
Yeah, and you might also notice, I mean, we talked a little bit about this with the rotation of the body. In Milonga, when we dance tango in general, we don't want to always have just keep one level when we dance, because then it looks very sort of robotic, and there's not what we call cadencia, which is this sort of, you want to feel like an sort of a circular movement in a sense when you're dancing. So when we do Milonga, there is some down and then up, up sometimes, and then back down. So we use both up and down when we're dancing. Yes?
So we have a question about embellishments. And some of what we said is I guess in these steps, if we do them just like we did now, we don't have so much, because we are doing rebounds, we have our weight on both feet a lot. So we don't have that much time to use our legs to embellish. So really in these steps, we're going to use more our upper body to stylize the movement a little bit. So as we're doing this, again, instead of keeping my upper body still, I can use also my upper body and the embrace to create a little bit more twist. And that creates a nice contrast to the way our legs are moving. So it looks very nice.
Yeah.
About embellishment.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for the followers, in Milonga, because it depends how fast the Milonga is, and it depends what steps you're doing, right? There are times when I can add embellishments, and then there are other times, especially if it's fast, it's quite difficult to add the embellishments. But even though here I'm not necessarily adding that much embellishments, I am using my feet in a certain way, my legs in a certain way, because of the music, because of the specific Milonga music. So I'm trying to make the feet quite sharp, and I will lift them and put them down. So I'll just show you sort of. And then bump, bump, bump. For example, if I want, right? If I have time, I can sort of lift it and then put it down. So it makes the movement a little bit more sharp because I'm dancing Milonga.
There's also one other embellishment that we can do that I can also lead for my partner, which is in the side step. We can both cross back. And to do this, we have to open and close the embrace as we're doing the side step. So from the side, I have to send her back, send the leg back, and then I pull her back in to do the cross.
Mm-hmm. And in that movement, I could add another embellishment, again, depending on my time and what kind of space I'm in. But I could, if he leads that cross, I could lift the foot to cross back.
Or she could even lift the other foot as she's crossing and do a bolero there instead.
Yes. So we do have some elements that you can play with. And when we dance together, I'll try and show some of those so you can see what they look like.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that we do to add a little bit of style is to, just like when we're doing these repeated rebounds, to change the position a little bit. Also in the other rebounds, I try to change my position a little bit. So instead of doing bum, 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 I'm turning my leg a little bit out, so I'm crossing as I'm doing the second rebound. Bum, bum, bum. And already I'm more twisted, and I have a little bit more movement to play with. And then I can cross back. Here again, use the upper body. And in these last three steps, you can add a little bit of movement in the side steps. Usually we tell you not to tilt your upper body, because normally you want your upper body to be straight and you want the shoulders in line with the hips. But sometimes, and this is an exception, we can do this just to add a little bit of style.
Yes. Okay. So another thing that I was going to say is that also in the Milonga, what we like to do is play with changing the direction when we're dancing, which we can do often when we're repeating steps. So do you want to show like when you do like the circular?
Yes. So if we use this same diagonal here to change direction, it's easier if we don't go back and front. So instead of going side to side, if I just stick to one diagonal and I twist my upper body a little bit, on every rebound, we turn a little bit. And it's a little bit more comfortable doing it towards the open side, but you can, of course, do it to the closed side as well.
Yeah. Yes, good.
Yes. So let's put on another Milonga, and we want you to dance a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are by yourself, knock yourself out, knock your socks off, because there's no reason that you can't dance just because you don't have a partner. And feeling comfortable, really dancing the movement in your own body, not just taking the steps, but really trying, play a little bit and feel like you're dancing.
Yeah.
It's a good exercise.
Yeah, and it's also good, especially when you're dancing by yourself, both leaders and followers, it's a good opportunity to really listen to the music, right? And to concentrate on dancing with the music. as opposed to necessarily leading or following, right? You can just really concentrate on putting the steps to the music.
Yes. So let's practice using the baldosa. These rebounds, the repeated ones. Now you don't have to do it in a set pattern. And you can also remember, we don't want to wear ourselves out completely because in the Milonga tanda we have 3 milongas and the next one is probably going to be faster. So sometimes you can just walk on the beat, use the baldosa if you want, use the side step to change direction, and then charge your batteries for the next traspié. Okay, let's see, just experiment, have fun, and we'll do the same.
Yes. Okay, very good. We hope you had a chance to do that either alone or with a partner. Let's see if any other questions. So of course, if you happen to have other questions, you can leave them in the comments and we will get back to you later. Yes?
Yes, and if you like the class and you want more of this and other, we put out on our Patreon, we have videos, exercise videos for individuals and couples. So you can try that out if you want. And we do some of these live classes. Now we're in a series where we're doing Milonga classes.
Milonga classes. Yes, and I also put up some combinations or choreographies to songs for followers that I do also in my Followers Technique class. So if you're not familiar with Patreon, it works sort of as a membership, so you pay a monthly fee and then you get all of these videos included in the membership. Yes, and we plan to continue with this.
Until we can see you on the dance floor, at least.
At least, but probably further than that as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to write us. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a good time. And we hope to see you all very soon, hopefully not just online, but in person as well.
So we'll finish off with one last milonga because I want to dance. Because I haven't been dancing so much lately. I wonder why. So we're going to put on one last milonga a little bit faster. Make the steps smaller. If you want to join us.
Yes.
Or if you want to just hang out.
Yeah, and we'll just and we'll also do maybe some variations on these steps that we've shown you.
Thank you!
Okay, thank you very much. We hope to see you soon. Bye.
Taco bajo un sombrero requintado de ala corta, un que esto de qué me importa, sobrador y pendenciero, pantalona francesas a cuadritos de franja ancha, que iba pidiéndole cancha al barro del arrabal. Qué tiempo aquel que no podremos ver más, que si se fue no volverá. Qué tiempo aquel de nuestra vieja ciudad, el del matón del arrabal, que la viaba del progreso igual que a 5 de queso me lo ha dejado, y hoy se pierde lentamente como el sol en el poniente triste y derrotado. Qué tiempo aquel que no podremos ver más, que si se fue no volverá. Qué tiempo aquel de nuestra vieja ciudad, el del matón del arrabal, que la viaba del progreso igual que a 5 de queso me lo ha dejado, y hoy se pierde lentamente como el sol en el poniente triste y derrotado.